buyer sues seller and real estate agent for fraud, negligence, and misrepresentation. Hello guys, Napoleon, real estate broker here in Metro Phoenix. Let's talk real estate law. So let's hop into it. The seller decides to sell their Scottsdale home because a convicted sex offender lives next door. In this case, the real estate broker represented both the buyer and the seller. In cases like this is the reason why we don't like representing both the buyer and the seller. We have a fiduciary responsibility, and I like to remember it as like Carlo: confidentiality, accounting, reasonable care, loyalty, obedience, and disclosure. And when you're representing both sides, sometimes you can blur that line. During the transaction, buyers asked the seller why they were leaving, and the seller told the buyer, hey, we're leaving because we want to move closer to friends. 6 months later, the buyer learns that we got a convicted sex offender, and I ain't happy about it. Boom, here comes a lawsuit. In response to the lawsuit, the sellers are like, nah, when I said I was moving closer to friends, one, that had absolutely nothing to do with the sex offender living next door. Two, no reasonable buyer is purchasing my home based on why I am leaving. And three, the possibility of a sex offender couldn't have been a top priority because the buyers didn't directly ask the question. The court found that the buyer signed the residential seller disclosure advisory order. The buyer acknowledged that the seller and the broker are not required to disclose that they're in the vicinity of a sex offender. In addition to that, guys, in the purchase contract, the buyer is afforded a due diligence period, i.e. find out if there's a convicted sex offender. So the outcome, guys, is the judge say, jury, figure out if the seller is lying, and you, the real estate agent, I'm gonna let you off. Dismiss.